Morning, afternoon, everyone. Thanks so much for being out here. I'm obviously very happy with the outcome of the case, and it looks like I'm not having to retire from my day job after all. But at the same time, I'm unbelievably frustrated that baseless claims like this are allowed to go to court at all. We've spent the last 8 years talking about 2 songs with dramatically different lyrics, melodies, and 4 chords, which are also different and used by songwriters every day all over the world. These chords are common building blocks which were used to create music long before Let's Get It On was written, and will be used to make music long after we are all gone. They are in a songwriter's alphabet, our toolkit, and should be there for all of us to use. No one owns them, in the same way that nobody owns the colour blue.
Ed Sheeran is celebrating today because he is one of this particular case after he was being sued for copyright infringement for a song Thinking Out Loud. Apparently it took the same chord progressions as Let's Get It On. I'm not a musician. I'm only going off of what I'm seeing and hearing here throughout this whole thing. Apparently, he wasn't found liable for stealing and ripping off that chord progression, and now he's happy about it. One small element of this whole thing though, as it was going through the process, he even had a threat publicly, told everyone, if I lose this case, I'll just stop making music altogether. And everyone gasped and went, no, Ed. Please. I'm sorry, I kind of like some of this stuff. But still, the prosecution said there's a different angle to this whole thing though. It's not just about the chord progression, it's not just about stealing music, it's also about the racial element of music. Let's go.
Sheeran's trial lasted 8 days, but jury deliberations lasted just a few hours before deciding that Sheeran was not liable for copyright infringement, as the family of Ed Townsend, Marvin Gaye's co-writer on Let's Get It On, had alleged, and their attorney Ben Crump had pleaded with the jury to please give credit where credit is due. Beyond the copying of chord progressions or sheet music, this case to the family of Ed Townsend had a racial and cultural aspect to it, because they feel like white musicians have misappropriated black music for generations, and here they thought they had an opportunity to right that wrong. But the jury did not agree and found Ed Sheeran not liable.
So he was not found not liable there, but then there's that element then there of the types of music that generally gets used and then written off as the creations, the origins of the creations for folks like Ed Sheeran. And maybe that wasn't part of the particular aspects of what they were deciding within the case. But I think the family, again, of the writing partner for Marvin Gaye for this particular song wanted that at least out there. And that's an age-old discussion that's been happening. I think even, did you ever watch, Francesca, did you ever watch, your kid is too young for this, so maybe you haven't. The Trolls movies, did you ever watch those? No. They're actually really good. Part
sure.
2, the entire purpose, the entire plot of part 2 is talking about how black music was ripped off and used for all these other kinds.
Oh, so it's woke trolls now. I see, I get it.
And Ed Sheeran's finally fighting back.
I feel like Ed Sheeran looks like a troll. I mean, and can he do something different with the hair? He's got a beautiful voice, but my God. Look, I think it's a interesting way to try and prove what is something we all know, which is the, appropriation of black music by white musicians for time immemorial or whatever. Like, it's been happening for a long time. Can the Rolling Stones be sued by the Muddy Waters estate? Like what, Screaming Jay Hawkins, whatnot. So, but I do feel, knowing this song and knowing Let's Get It On, that they are different enough. And that's just from me being a classically trained musician, because I like music. Yeah. That being said, Robin Thicke and Pharrell Williams had to pay $50 million. Not 50, 5 million, excuse me, which was a drop in the bucket, but 5 million for Blurred Lines, stealing from what was it? Was it Al Green? No, it was Marvin.
No, it was Marvin Gaye too. That's what's crazy about this. It was Gotta Give It Up.
And that was legit. Like, that was straight stealing, in my opinion. And in my opinion, that was way too similar. That's why I liked it. I was like, oh, this slaps. Oh, it's because it's basically, you got to give it up. Yeah.
What about the, not that this is exactly the same. It's not as far back or thrown back. I've heard a couple. What's her name? Miley Cyrus. Her new song is basically, what's the Bruno Mars' song? Yes, her new song,
Oh.
Even Played Everywhere, is the same song. And I think it is even the same lyrics. It's even potentially even a remake. And some folks are like, yo, you just stole this song. And in that case, I thought, doesn't that happen to music all the time? It's literally a remake.
I mean, there's only so many pop hits, you know?
Yeah. So he's made it through. But look, maybe this explainer will actually tell us more, because you talked about how it's potentially different enough. But this chord progression is one of those things, apparently this viral video I had never seen before, illustrates exactly how this same chord progression that's used in these songs can be used in so many others. Here, maybe you can tell the difference.
My life is brilliant, my love is pure. People killing, people dying, children hurt, and you hear them crying. Forever young, I wanna be.
I was singing, I had to stop right when I was told to come back in, because I'd like for you guys to hang around. So yeah, I think that does show at least what happened for Ed Sheeran here. So maybe he'll at least think about it as he goes forward. Or maybe he won't, who knows?